Hey friends, welcome back to the house this week for another drink. We are excited, her more than me, to pop the top on one of Dana's favorite of all time spirits.
So today we are finally opening the new bottle of KAH Tequila that we managed to pick up. I don't even remember which store we were in when I saw it, and it was just like instant giddiness because this is my absolute favorite tequila. I first discovered it about 8 to 10 years ago, and probably like many of you, if you've had it, you were drawn to the really pretty skull-shaped bottles. They're hand-painted. They were gorgeous. I picked one up just for the novelty of it because that's something I do, kind of stupidly, but I do it. And what I found was inside, it was just the most amazing tequila product. And then, all of a sudden, it vanished.
It vanished.
Vanished. It was gone. I couldn't find it anymore.
And I actually learned online that at some point Dan Aykroyd's Crystal Skull vodka, they sued KAH over the skulls and they won. So they couldn't put the skulls out there any longer.
I hereby formally boycott Dan Aykroyd's vodka products on this channel. Simply for that reason.
Because of no more skulls.
Because
Yeah.
the skulls are gone, and they are really cool. It's a really cool design. Each one was hand painted, so even within the store, from bottle to bottle, there's little variations. So it really kind of, it doesn't change what's inside the bottle, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But it does change that presentation and that whole celebration of part of why KAH was created in the first place.
Yeah. Well, and these are pretty cool, although it is a sticker now on a portion of it, and the rest of it looks very nice. The colors are very complementary of each other. So I'm excited to try it. I've never tried this tequila before, so I'm very excited. And KAH just translates to life in the ancient Mayan language, and the bottles are decorated to celebrate the Day of the Dead. Now, Dia de los Muertos is in fact a celebration of lives lived and dates back over 3,000 years to remember deceased loved ones. Very cool.
Really cool. And when you put that understanding together with the skull design,
It makes sense.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
So they have carried that tradition on forward in the design of the new bottle, but
Yeah, which I do like. I'm glad they did that.
I still miss.
You still miss the old.
My old ones.
Now, KAH is produced by Fabrica de Tequilos Finas. So we talked about, is that like maker of fine tequila?
I think it is.
Yeah, okay. All right. It makes sense. And they are located in the town of Tequila in Jalisco, Mexico. Now, that is at the foot of Tequila Hill. And the area is officially a Heritage of Humanity site as declared by UNESCO. Now, most of the people working at Finos have worked there since its establishment in 2000. And that includes KAH's master distiller, Arturo Fuentes. Now, he's been really dedicating 45 years of his life to the production of alcoholic beverages. I mean, I was just little bitty nibbling running around at that point in time. So that is a long time to dedicate to the craft. And he was part of the team that created KAH. So he's been there throughout the entire duration and a big part of it continuing on.
I really like how it's in the town of Tequila, at the base of Tequila Hill. They named their distillery Fabrica de Tequilas Finos. It's just like all of that energy is imbued
Yep.
with this product.
Absolutely. And I forgot to mention that we're doing the Blanco of this.
We are.
Yes. So there are 2 different ones that KAH has. And 3?
At
Okay.
least 3.
Okay. 3. I don't know the third.
I'll talk about it.
Okay. All right. Now, Amber Beverage Group actually took ownership of KAH in 2016 when it became a major stakeholder of Fabrica de Tequilas, Finos. And that's when they announced a relaunch in the U.S. in 2020 and have continued to grow globally since. So I'm glad that they kind of pushed to bringing it back.
Picked it up and really pushed for a wider market share, because that is how I was able to find it again. And I'm sure that with the relaunch and all of that ties into the new bottle design and shape and marketing. So I'm really excited. And with their global marketing outreach, you now should be able to find them in Canada, China. I think I saw online that you can now find them in some duty-free shops.
Nice.
So ABG is really pushing this product, and it is a fantastic product. So KAH Tequila, this is the Blanco. As you see behind me, my OG skulls are the Añejo.
Okay.
The Añejo in the black skull and the Reposado in the yellow with red paint skulls.
That's what I also have seen, the Reposado.
The Reposado,
Yeah.
yes. So KAH starts out their tequila process like most other tequila distilleries, really. You harvest your blue agave, let me see, you get the name right here. Weber blue agave is harvested, and you're cutting that down into piñas, which is really just the heart of that agave. They're transported, cut into 2 or 4 pieces, depending on the size of the piña, and then baked for approximately 9 hours. So shorter bake time than the Suerte, but it's very adequate. The baked piñas are then shredded in order to extract that beautiful juice.
Yeah.
And then fermentation is going to take place over a few days. And the fermentation is going to result in a low alcohol wort. I think that's pretty common throughout a lot of our distilled spirits. You start out with a low alcohol wort, and the distillation process brings that alcohol content higher and higher, more and more concentrated. KAH Tequila is distilled twice before either being bottled as Blanco or aged for the Reposado and Añejo products. The Reposado is going to be aged in wooden barrels, really, and that wood barrel is going to create a mellower flavor and that amber color. Reposado being aged between 2 and 11 months. It really just boils down to that particular barrel, the location, what kind of climate they're having at that time. So anywhere from 2 to 11 months before being bottling as Reposado. And if you age it for more than 1 year of maturation in those wooden barrels, you get Añejo.
Okay.
So the Añejo is aged in, I think KAH's using 600-liter casks.
Okay.
So I was trying to look up exactly what size that was, and I think that's about a standard barrel size.
Okay.
158 gallons.
Oof. That's a lot.
That's a lot of tequila.
That's a lot of tequila. It's a lot of bad decisions. That's what that is.
Good decisions. Tequila is good.
Tequila may be good, but the decisions you make after having it, nope, I can validate that.
So KAH has won numerous awards across all of their tequilas, the Blanco, the Reposado, and the Añejo. And of those 3, the only ones I haven't had are the Blanco. Now, before, I know that they had an extra añejo. I don't know if they're still producing that extra añejo. It used to come in a bedazzled skull. It's the best way I can describe it. It was literally a skull that was covered in like little plastic gemstones. Just,
oh my gosh.
Just like, 10-year-old me getting the bedazzler kit.
Did it have the price along with all those jewels?
It did. It was ridiculously expensive, which is why we're tasting the Blanco today.
Yeah.
This Blanco is going to be right along our normal price point of right around $40, I think. So it's going to be higher in price than the Suerte.
Mm-hmm. But not by much.
Not by much.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you ready to get into it?
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm excited. I've never had this.
I make no promises on how long the bottle lasts.
Oh, it's a very quiet cork there.
So it looks like they've transitioned to using a real cork instead of synthetic with a wonderful little embossed logo on it.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
I think that's all the top because the cork itself feels like it's incredibly light. Doesn't get a little bit of pop there now. All right. Ooh,
Smells like tequila.
it definitely smells like tequila. I'm getting a lot of like pepper
I'm not
on
getting,
the nose.
I'm getting a little bit of sweetness, just a little bit of herb.
I don't know about the sweet, but definitely the peppery for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's got
Yep.
some good legs on it, that's for sure.
Very good legs. Perfectly clear, just like you'd expect from a Blanco.
Cheers.
Very smooth. Very subtle in the herb flavors, any of that pepper I'm getting on the end.
Yeah, it's very light. It is very light. Now, I'm not a tequila connoisseur. I can't even call myself a fan. But there is one thing for certain that I can say is that you can taste the difference between a good tequila and a very cheap one. This is very smooth. There's no bite to it at all. The pepper is very, very light. I'd say it's a little bit sweet.
I think it's that herb profile that I'm smelling and picking up is balancing with the pepper to bring that sweetness.
It is very light. Tastes good. Yeah, this is really good.
I'm glad I can open up your world of tequila, broaden your horizons.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to come fully to the dark side like you are, but these that we're getting in this price point are really tasty, and it makes it easy to sip on them and not feel like I have to put them in something.
This is definitely a product while you can do tequila shots with it, it's not something that you're necessarily going to want to do tequila
this is
shots
sipping.
with.
Yeah.
Simply because it is that good, standalone, neat. You don't need to chill it or water it down with ice. You don't need to chase it with lime. Would a lime wedge on the side of your glass probably enhance the experience? Likely.
Yeah.
Likely so, but you don't need it.
Yeah, you're not trying to take away the bite from a cheaper tequila.
Yes.
This has a really good flavor. And now I do typically have a lime after tequilas, and I want to see how it impacts this one. but it's not like I'm shaking my head and going for the line because it's just that harsh. This is very smooth and something you can just sit on, or not sit on, that would be uncomfortable, but sit on.
I have sat on this bottle for months, so
That's got to be uncomfortable. Damn. Good job. Good job. I know you were excited to see it, and you instantly wanted to get it, and I applaud your patience in opening it.
Had my self-control not been present, I would have walked away with all 3 bottles.
Thankfully, I was there. And once again, the self-control, even in the house, has kept her from opening the bottle, and we've had it for weeks now.
I think longer than weeks. I think it's been months.
Well, weeks make up months. Have you gotten that far into this where you can't remember?
Many rabbits.
If you have not seen our video related to the wabbits, we'll post a link to our Suerte tequila review, as it is another one that is very good.
Both of them are very good. Remembering the flavor profile of Suerte, I would say Suerte is a little bit more herby, and KAH would be a little bit more clear or refined. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit herbaceous, definitely go for the Suerte. If you're looking for something that is just easy, smooth sipping, KAH is gonna be it. And maybe I can convince someone to do another head-to-head.
I'm down for that.
Totally. If we can find maybe the Reposado in both.
Yeah, I'm curious if you're watching this and you've had Reposado, what's your preference? What do you like between the two? I'm open to tasting both and seeing how they taste side by side to each other.
So, what's your favorite level of tequila? Reposado, Blanco, Añejo, Extra Añejo.
Mm-hmm.
Do you prefer Mezcal? We don't talk about Mezcal. And what's your favorite tequila product? What's your favorite label that you found so far?
Yes.
Drop us a comment.
Because we'd love to try something else out as well. But, you ready to pour some more?
I am ready to pour some more. Get in the kitchen and get cooking.
All right. Well, on that note, we're going to call it a night. So, thank you once again for joining us. We certainly appreciate you. Stay safe, take care, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.